Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 141 of the Orange Pill Investor. And today I want to talk about the dumbest thing that you can do in the stock market, and that is buying or selling shares of stock. And the reason why it's dumb is, well, I'm assuming you're setting a limit order, which I guess you could just go in and set a market order. But assuming you're not doing something that silly, let's just look at Mara. If you think that $20 is a fair price for a marathon, then you can go in here, you can say I want a limit order, and you say, okay, I'll buy it for $20 a share, and I want 100 shares, and I'll even go to the 24/7 market, and then you submit this order and expire, whenever, never. And then if Mara goes below 20, you'll pick up 100 shares of it. And if it goes to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 50, and never comes back down to 20, then you are obligating $2,000 of your collateral, and it's doing absolutely nothing. It's just sitting here in cash, and it's getting eroded due to inflation. And the whole point of investing in the stock market is because cash is trash to begin with. And so you have just wasted your time. You have done absolutely nothing. This $2,000 will just sit here until the damn thing expires in August, and then you can do it again. And maybe tomorrow's 25 then, and you can set your limit order for 24, and then maybe that'll never get filled. Or if you think $20 is a fair price for Mara, and this is just one day of premium here, this is expiring tomorrow, but if you sell this $20 strike and the price goes below 20, just like in your limit order scenario, if the price goes below 20, you'll purchase these shares. Well, if the price goes below 20 at expiration tomorrow, then you'll be assigned these shares and you will get them at the price you want. But you will also have gotten paid this $30. So you're going to get the price you want, and you will have gotten paid an extra $30 on top of it. So I don't understand why anybody would ever put in a limit order. Okay, let me buy these shares at $20. Just sell a put for $20. And then what happens in the scenario that I mentioned where this never goes to 20 or, gets that down to 20? Well, you made $30, which is like 1.5% in one day. And then I'll do it again for next week. And I'll get paid like almost $1. So I'll get like almost 5% for next week. So I can get 5% returns every week on my $2,000 of collateral, waiting for this to maybe never happen. So if it never happens, I really don't give a shit. That would even be best case scenario. So I can make 250% returns, 50 weeks times 5%. I can make 250% returns and never even get a fill. Never even be assigned these shares. If the price stays at 20.45 for the next 50 weeks, and I sell a put every week getting almost $1, that's going to be $100 times 50 weeks. $5,000. I'm going to make $5,000 on $2,000 of collateral. Well, sorry, that's my buying power. Cash secured put. Collateral, $2,000. In 1 year, I can make basically 2.5x my collateral. Actually, 3.5x because I still have the $2,000. I'll get paid $5,000, and I've got the $2,000 still here that I was going to really originally trade. But then, in a year, I'll have $7,000 in collateral, and now I can sell 3 puts of Mara. So now I'm making $300 a week, waiting for Mara to never go below $20. Let's look at the same scenario, selling a covered call, just till tomorrow. Let's just say last week the price did go to, I was selling puts at like 21 or something, and the price dropped to 20.50. Now I've got my shares, and I've got 100 shares of Mara, and I'm like, you know what? I want to get out of Mara with a 10% profit. So let's just go like the 22.50. So I'm going to sell a limit order. For 22.50, 100 shares, whatever. This doesn't even matter. Expires 90 days. Okay? What if Mara stays at 20.50 for the next year? Just doesn't move. Goes up to it goes up to 22.49, 20, and then goes back down to 20, or goes down to 15, or whatever. Okay, now you've got these 100 shares of Mara just sitting here. Now, granted, over the past year, it's fluctuated, as low as 7 and as high as 30? Yeah, 31. So you'll probably get a fill at some point, but it's not guaranteed. Especially when it was here. If you had 100 shares of Mara at 20, and you're like, you know what, I want to get 22 or 25 or 30. Well, guess what? This is July of 2023. You were going to have to wait from July to December to finally get you're going to have to wait 5 months to get your 10% profit. That doesn't make any sense. But if you sell a covered call for tomorrow at 22.50, they'll give you $10 almost. Oh, it just flipped on me. Somebody will give you $8-9 for that. So if the price does surge 10% by tomorrow, you're going to get the 10% profit you want, plus this little $10 bonus, $8 bonus. And let's look for next week. This is 8 days of premium. At $22.50, you can get $62. So if you're like, I want to make 10% on Mara, but I really just like to unload it. Well, what if it never gets to 22 over the next year? You can get 50 times 60. Let's just be conservative because this is the $10 of premium is for tomorrow. But so weekly, let's just cut this down to 50. So $50, you can get 10% on the shares themselves, potentially. But if that never happens, you can get $2,500, which is worth more than the damn shares themselves. So you could sell a covered call collecting $50 a week, and if you never get the price you want, you still are going to make more than the value of the shares in a year of doing this. Now, if you don't have an account where you can buy 100 shares of stock, then okay, buy 2.37 shares of something. I do that in this 5K account as well. I'm trying to do a 5K account challenge to try to grow, see how fast I can grow this to 25K. And even in this account, I buy fractional shares of MicroStrategy because I think MicroStrategy is going to be the the best store of value. Not financial advice, but I'm thinking MicroStrategy goes to 10K easy by end of 2025. Now there's a bunch of people who do a lot better research and number crunching, and I'm basically using their work. I'm outsourcing my my MicroStrategy value model to people a lot smarter than me. And if it doesn't, it still doesn't matter, because I'm selling covered calls in my main account against this every week. So MicroStrategy is still sitting at 1,700 next year. It won't matter because I will have made commissions against it the whole time. So even if my assumptions are completely wrong about my bullishness on MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, the miners, etc., if my assumption that MicroStrategy is going to go up is completely wrong, it does not matter at all, because I'm going to collect, I think if Bitcoin can double, Mara can double. If Bitcoin can triple, Mara can triple. Maybe it does. It only goes up, if Bitcoin doubles, maybe this only goes up 50%. It doesn't really matter, because even if my assumption is wrong, I sold the 23 strike for 50 cents, which is times 100, so it's $50. I sold the 22 calls for 79. So this Mara will basically practically pay for itself in the next year and a half, regardless if the price goes up or not. So if I can afford 100 shares, I'm not going to buy 100 shares, or I will buy them and immediately sell a covered call against it. But yeah, so if I like the price of Mara at $20.50, then buy the damn shares. But if you're like, okay, I want 19, I can't stomach buying Mara at 20. Like, I need a discount. Okay, so some people have to buy dips. Some people are just like, they can't pay full price for something. So for next week, it's an extra day of premium, but I can sell the 19 put for next week and collect $50. It's a little bit more than a week, but it's still 2.5% in 8 days, 8 trading days. And I can make that, it'll probably be 40. What is 19 for tomorrow? So yeah, like 10. So it's probably $40 a week. and trying to get this $19 dip. But if it never goes to 19 and you have a limit or a limit purchase set, your collateral is doing jack shit. So if you can't afford 100 shares of Mara, there's cheaper stuff. Find the stock that you like. Not financial advice, but the miners are what I like right now. And I don't even like the miners. I like Bitcoin, so I like anything associated with Bitcoin. I consider the miners Bitcoin derivatives. And until there's a viable, like just straight up legit Bitcoin options market, there's not even options on the ETFs yet. So I'm kind of having to do this out of desperation, really, investing in the miners. So I don't really care about the miners. I don't care about the company. I don't know who's got the most Bitcoin. I don't know who's got the most hash power. I really don't give a shit about any of that. I like Bitcoin. So I like Bitcoin mining companies by proxy, I suppose. But if you don't have $1,000 to sell a cash secured put in HUT, then I would say continue to clock in and out of your job and save the money. Because, well, actually, maybe that's that's not true as well. If all you can afford is one share of hut, I guess buy it. And then, keep clock in and out and try to penny pinch or whatever in your life until you can get 100 shares of something. That would be what I would do now. I would just, because even keeping the $10 in cash is still going to be eroded by inflation. So, hell, actually, now that I think about it, since Robinhood offers fractional shares, oh God, yeah, if I had $10, I guess I would just buy 0.00597 shares of MicroStrategy. And if all I had was $10 a week, I would keep buying shares of MicroStrategy until it was worth $1,000, and then I'd go get 100 shares of HUT. I guess that's what I would do if I was dead ass broke. Because if you just leave $10 in a bank account, it's going to be worth $8 next year because of inflation. So I guess that's what I would actually do. But yeah, if you can afford 100 shares of something and you're going to set a limit order, like seriously, what are you doing with your life? It doesn't make any damn sense unless someone can post in the comments and make it make sense to me. I think that's all I wanted to say for now. So don't be dumb. Be good, y'all.